Yeah, but right now, hey, look, everybody's got to get their shots, and sometimes it's more important than others. It's time for our vitamin T shot. It's time for a visit with the one, the only Teresa Tomeo. Good morning, Teresa. Ciao. Or do you say ciao when you say hello, or is that just goodbye? Oh, you there? Good morning, Teresa.
Hello.
Good morning.
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good morning, Teresa.
There you are. How are you? We are on our way back from our Southern Italy vacation. We're driving through the Apennine Mountains.
Oh, nice.
Just passing through Naples and on our way back up to Umbria. And I just wanted to speak in and say hello and happy summer and la dolce vita and all that stuff.
Well, we are
Nice.
so thankful that you are with us this morning. Now, where you were was where they were. Everybody's been talking about this shooting of this series with The Chosen, Last Supper, and some other things, and that's right where they were shooting, right where you were, right? Correct? Oh,
Yep. Those mountains are high.
Uh-huh.
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear your question.
Oh, I was just going to say where you just were is where they were also shooting, or had just shot some of the series Chosen.
If? I don't know.
Oh,
Down along the coast, the Adriatic coast, and we were in several towns. Vieste, we were in Pugliano Mare, we were in Bari for St. Nicholas, we were in Matera. I think you asked me about The Chosen. That's what you.
yeah, the
Yep.
crucifixion scene. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I got the bits and pieces of it. I apologize, but yes. So Matera is a beautiful place. It's interesting because now people are coming to see it in droves. But back in the 50s and the 60s, before it finally shut down, abandoned, and was finally taken over and appreciated for the history that it has, it was considered the shame of Italy. So it's a very special place because they had to move out 23,000 people that were literally living in squalor. They were the farmers from the fields of nearby Basilicata, and they literally lived in caves with no running water and all kinds of hygiene issues. And when they found out about it, it was from a doctor who wrote a book called Christ Stops in Italy. And when they found out about it, it became the shame of Italy, and they shut it down. It was abandoned for several years, and then they realized what they had in terms of the history. It's called the Sassi, the rocks, the caves, and they date back, those caves date back, some 10,000 years. But the history of the people and the traditions in that area of Basilicata, and now it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and they have tours going through every day, and it's pretty powerful for the people who live in that area to see what it's done for the region in terms of now being a pride of Southern Italy versus the shame of Italy. And they just shot the resurrection scene for The Chosen there in the same spot where they shot the resurrection scene. I mean, the crucifixion scenes for the Passion of the Christ. Both crucifixion scenes for The Chosen and the Passion of the Christ were shot in the same place, in Matera, on a particular mountaintop that you wouldn't even know the difference if you were in Matera. Having been to the Holy Land several times, it looks so similar to Bethlehem and Nazareth, and so you can see why they chose to shoot there. So it was our fourth time there. We were with friends of ours who took other friends who were staying together to see this. It really is magnificent.
Well, now we know that The Chosen here in the United States of America, it's just gigantic. Like everybody watches it, everyone is familiar with it. Even if they haven't watched all of it, they know parts of it. It's part of the conversation that's going on. Is it popular there, or is that more just a United States thing? I mean, did you see crowds come out for that? Was that something that the locals were interested in?
Well, that's a great question. It's interesting because they're very familiar with Matera now because of the Passion of the Christ. And The Chosen is starting to catch on because Jonathan Rumi himself has made a real effort to get to Italy, to Rome, more than once. But of course, he was just recently with Pope Leo.
Right.
And people are saying, well, who is this actor? And knowing that they were shooting in Matera. So it's becoming a little bit more popular. It's not nearly as popular as it is in the United States. But I think the fact that he was just there a few weeks ago and went to meet Pope Leo, and Pope Leo was meeting with him and talking about the series, and that's going to have a phenomenal effect. But it hasn't spread as much yet in Europe, but I think it will.
Now I have.
Teresa,
Oh, go ahead, Pat. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, is there other things that are going on around certain feast days? Are there things that are going on in Italy that we're missing?
Yeah, it's incredible, especially in the southern part of Italy. In particular, when we did our tour of Matera yesterday, the guide was telling us that they have a very special, tomorrow, July 2nd, it's a big day for them, where they celebrate a particular image, their image of the Madonna. They call it the Pale Madonna, where she has dark hair and a little bit more dark skin. And they build this giant paper mache float, basically, beautifully detailed, with all kinds of colors and statues of Jesus and the apostles, and, of course, their Madonna. And they bring it to the streets, and they have mass, and they have a procession, and they have adoration. And then before they have the fireworks, the children are allowed to all run toward this float and break it up, and everybody gets a piece of it. They share it with the town. It's very sacred to them to have a piece of this float that's separating their Madonna. So that's one of them. And then we were in a little town near our friend's house, and they were having another celebration of St. Rocco, who's a big saint down in that part of the country. And they also just got done celebrating, of course, St. Peter and Paul, and then the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And there's festivities everywhere. And in the southern towns, it's so pretty because the lights, they go all out with the lights on the streets. And so there's these particular types of white lights that they hang in the southern part of Italy, and also you see this in Naples. And it's just a celebration, and everything goes back to the church. So it's really cool as Catholics to walk through, even if you're there, let's say not for anything religious. Whatever they're celebrating, 9 times out of 10 it's going to go back to a saint or something to do with the church.
I'm going to switch gears for just a minute, Teresa. We have a mutual friend, except this friend, he and I like one another, but this man is a great fan of yours, and I know that you're a great fan of his as well. Doug Keck retired from EWTN, and the two of you did so many things together. He brought you in doing so many fabulous things for EWTN. Your creative ideas found a home in him, and he helped bring birth to some of the things that you brought forward there. Tell us about your relationship with him. Tell us about Doug Keck, the man that you've gotten to work with all these years.
It's been amazing, and I'm so blessed that he decided, even though he's retiring, he's going to continue with me on Catholic Connection on
Praise
Friday,
God. Yeah.
doing the Inside Word, which is going to be great because every Friday he comes to us and he gives us a sneak peek of what's coming up the following weekend of the week. So I was kind of worried when he was retiring that we wouldn't have that segment. He said, "Oh no," he said, "I love doing that, and I want to stay in this program." Well, I met Doug many years ago when I first went to be interviewed when Jeff Cavins was hosting Life on the Rock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's when I first started to meet. This was before I worked in Catholic radio. And I started to meet some of the people at EWTN, and it just became an instant friendship. And what was really cool is that Doug and I have a lot in common. I know this is crazy, even though I was raised in Michigan, but I was born on the East Coast, and I'm half a Tigers fan, half a Yankees fan. So I still love my Tigers, but I love my Yankees. He's a huge Yankees fan. And we both have that kind of like interest in the East Coast and everything, New York, New Jersey-ish. So we kind of bonded over that. And I think also our experience in the secular media, we bonded over that as well. And I think he just appreciates my experience as a street reporter because he's very like, and you know him, Dave, very well. Yeah. He's very down to earth. He's very, okay, let's cut to the chase. And that's how that's how you have to be when you're a reporter. You have to get to the matter quickly. You have to be able to summarize things, no baloney. You just got to move forward quickly. So we just kind of hit it off on a number of levels, and we've been friends ever since, and I'm just honored that he considers me a friend. And we actually did, and you probably heard it, Vanessa tossed to the interview yesterday when she filled in for me that Doug and I taped 2 weeks ago, talking about his life at EWTN and what he plans to do. He's still going to host Bookmark, and he's still going to host Protestant Universe, and he'll still be on with me every Friday. But, yeah, I can't believe that this is how long I've been in Catholic radio with Doug Keck now retiring from the business.
But the collaborations are just so fabulous. Saints in Italy, of course, and so many other things that the two of you have worked on together. I knew you'd bring a very special perspective to that. Thank you so much, Teresa. God bless you. Thanks for giving us a little shot of vitamin T this morning.